You find it in almost every medicine cabinet. Petroleum jelly, although you know it better as Vaseline, which is actually a trade name for the product, the name coined by Robert Cheeseborough, an American chemist who invented it. But when you ask people where it comes from, you usually draw a blank. Well, Robert Cheeseborough was an American chemist, and his business was making kerosene, distilling it either out of the tar left behind when coal burns or from sperm whale oil. However, in the middle 1800s, oil was discovered in the fields of Pennsylvania, and kerosene could be produced from that very cheaply. So Cheeseborough saw his business waning. He went to Pennsylvania to see if he could get in on the business. And he discovered that sometimes the oil wells became gummed up with a material that the workers called rod wax. They were very unhappy about this because it made the machinery malfunction. However, they did have something positive to say. They said they had discovered that when they had cuts or burns and they put this stuff on their hand, there was improved healing. And this attracted Cheeseborough. He saw dollar signs in his eyes. And he went to work. And within a few years, he made an odor-free version of this material, and he called it Vaseline, supposedly because the first batches were stored in his wife's vase. And he experimented on himself. He cut himself, he burned himself, often in public, to demonstrate to people how Vaseline worked. He would put it on his arm and claim that there was better healing. Well, it didn't actually heal faster, but in those days, there were a lot of infections after burns and cuts, and what Vaseline did do was to keep the bacteria out. So he made a big business out of Vaseline. He went around hiring carriages, horses and buggies, and advertised, and the product became very popular. People sang its praises. Not only was it good for cuts and burns, it was a great dressing for the hair. It kept razor blades from rusting. It was good for softening up baseball gloves. Good for all kinds of things. There was even a story that two prisoners had Vaseline themselves to slither through the bars of a prison. And sales of this material really took off. And Cheeseborough himself had an idea of what else to do with Vaseline. He thought that because of its laxative properties, it was very good for health. And he ate a spoonful every day. And you know what? Robert Cheeseborough lived to the ripe old age of 96. And that is our cup of joe for today.